Welcome to the Tales of Zeke and Elliot, parables worth pondering. Best friends Zeke and Elliot are two frogs that have many adventures around Bickers Pond. I'm Leah. Put your hands up as we listen to the story, Delilah's Deception.
It takes a leap of faith, but that's a step worth taking. If the path we face is the one God's making, when He says go, we won't be alone. Let's take a leap of faith.
Remember Delilah from our story Unmasked? She's a raccoon that had recently returned to Bickers Pond. The creatures were anxious about her presence because she had done something to hurt them. Today we are going to find out what that was. The female raccoon was trying to remember all the instructions that the banker, Mr. Bard, the barred owl, was giving her. She was furiously writing in a notebook everything he was saying.
Does that make sense, Delilah? You take the money from this drawer every evening and count it. Make sure that the amount you come to matches the amount that was written down this morning, plus or minus the transactions you did at your window today.
Yes, I think I have it. I just don't want to make a mistake.
Oh, not to worry. We just deduct it from your paycheck.
You will?
No. I won't be that harsh. Unless it keeps happening.
Thank you for being so patient with me, Mr. Bard. I know it seems like I'm catching on a little slowly.
On the contrary, my dear, it seems you're being very observant and taking time to make sure you understand correctly. That's a very nice thing. I'm proud of you. Go ahead, Delilah. Why don't you wait on these two customers?
Yes, sir. Good morning, gentlemen. How can I help you?
This here's a stick-up. Get your hands up high!
What?
Ollie and Pervis, stop your rubbish. Delilah's my new employee. You've no doubt given her a heart attack.
Oh, sorry, miss. We was only joshing. We didn't mean nothing by it.
Well, I guess that is kind of funny.
Oh, they come in here fairly often trying to trick one of my tellers. We've all got so used to it, we just ignore them anymore.
I'll try to remember that next time.
They tried it once while Mrs. Badger was here. And she ran them out with her cane.
I couldn't sit down for a week. I still have nightmares. You don't want to get on her bad side. You sure enough don't.
Delilah, you go on and head home for the day. I'll see you back here in the morning. Don't worry, I'll handle the business with these two and go ahead and lock up.
If you're sure, then. Thank you. See you in the morning.
The raccoon headed towards her den in a tree stump. On her way, she saw two frogs and a badger walking together. She had seen the three around, but hadn't had a chance to talk to any of them. She thought the two frogs were named Zeke and Elliot, and that had to be Mrs. Badger, since she was walking with a cane. As she kept walking toward the group, she wondered how to start a conversation, but the badger beat her to it.
Good afternoon, young lady. I'm Mrs. Badger, and this is Zeke. He has the freckles. And this one here with the flat cap is Elliot. Now, what's your name?
Good afternoon to you. My name is Delilah. It's very nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too, Delilah.
Welcome to Bickers Pond, Delilah.
I hear you're working at the Bickers Pond Bank.
Yes, I am. Just finished my first day of training.
How did it go? Mr. Bard is very kind and has been here at Bickers Pond for years.
Any robberies on your first day?
What? No?
Zeke, what kind of question is that?
I'm sorry. It's just that, I misunderstood you, but
Did those two hooligans, Ollie and Pervis, come in and scare ya?
How did you know?
Those two try to pull that trick at least once a month.
Sorry if they scared you too badly. Bickers Pond really is a wonderful place.
It looks like I may have to take another trip to the bank and teach them a lesson.
Oh, I heard all about that. I wish I could have seen it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Pervis hobbled around for a week.
It was nice meeting you all. Thanks for stopping to talk with me.
A pleasure to meet you too, dear. Now, come on, boys. We need to get home before it's dark so you can fix my porch swing.
Her bark is worse than her bite.
I know for a fact that she has a fly larva pie waiting for us.
Catching flies, boys, catching flies.
Good evening.
Delilah made her way home and began making supper for herself. She put a fish and cricket casserole in the oven and chopped up a side of fruit and nuts. While the casserole was baking, she pulled out a large roll of paper and unfolded it across her dining table. It was a blueprint of sorts, and she traced her fingers over the different entrances and exits of the building. At the top of the paper was written in large letters, Bickers Pond Bank. The following day, after she got home from working at the bank, there was a knock at Delilah's door. When she answered, she was met by the faces of a lovely meadowlark and a small, energetic chipmunk. Each of them was holding a casserole dish.
Hi, I'm Nash, and this is Meadowlark. We wanted to stop by and say hello and bring you these casseroles. Do you like casseroles? They're not the same casserole. Hers is blackberry pecan and mine is squash with a flaky almond butter cracker topping. Oh, do you like squash? Are you allergic to pecans?
Nash, breathe. Give the lady time to respond.
Sorry, I'm just so excited.
Thank you. Those both sound delicious.
As Nash said, my name is Meadowlark, and we've been wanting to stop by and welcome you to Bickers Pond. We hope you are happy here.
We heard you're working at the bank. How's that going? We heard you ran into Ollie and Pervis. Sorry about that. They're not really that bad.
Nash!
Sorry.
Yes, I did meet them. Would you both like to come in?
Yes!
We'd love to.
I wasn't expecting company, so please forgive the mess. I haven't really unpacked everything yet.
No need to impress us. Where would you like us to set these casserole dishes down?
Right here on the table. Let me just move this stuff out of the way.
Oh, what's this? Are you an artist or something?
That's just, yes, some doodling I was working on.
You're really good.
Forgive us. We don't mean to pry. Nash, why don't we let Delilah enjoy the rest of her evening, and we'll see you around the pond sometime.
Oh, and make sure you check out the Stomp and Stump if you haven't already. They have the best ice cream.
I have heard about it. I'll be sure to check it out. Thank you both. It was nice meeting you.
She seems very nice. It's always wonderful to add new residents at Bickers Pond.
Sure is. Should we come back tomorrow and bring some more food or just chat? Maybe I could take her for a ride across the pond, or she might prefer a slower ride with Esther. I don't know. Maybe we could do
Just
something
breathe,
like that.
Nash. Just breathe.
The critters of Bickers Pond were quickly getting to know Delilah and enjoyed her easy banter. Soon she was considered a vital part of their community. Mr. Bard was very pleased with this new employee and began handing her more and more responsibilities. For the last several weeks, he had her help him move the large deposits into the bank's vault. One evening, Mr. Bard asked Delilah if she could stay and help.
Delilah, I'll help you get started, but I'm going to leave you to handle this. Tonight is my wife's birthday, and I promised to take her to the Stump and Stump to enjoy JJ and the cricket band. And, of course, 2 scoops of ice cream.
Thank you for trusting me with this. Please tell Dr. Bard happy birthday and enjoy the ice cream.
I certainly will. I had an extra key made for the front door for you. Would you like me to lock up, or would you like to do it yourself?
Oh, my! I feel so honored. I can do it.
Very well, then, dear. I'll see you in the morning. I'll turn the sign to closed as I leave. Thank you for your hard work. You've been a joy to work with.
Thank you, Mr. Bard. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Good night.
Good night.
As soon as the door was shut, the raccoon got to work. For weeks, she had been bringing in an extra bag with her lunch and placing them in a drawer in her small workstation. No one had noticed, and now she grabbed them and took them to the vault. She quickly began placing the stacks of money into the bags.
Turns out I didn't need that set of blueprints after all. That naive featherbrain gave me the keys to the door and left the vault open. Oh, I should go lock the door before anyone comes in. But the sign says we're closed. These critters are all so trusting, no one would think to enter after hours.
Delilah kept working to load up each bag as full as she could and was so distracted that she didn't hear the door to the bank open.
I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't see anyone.
Oh, we're just gonna scare Mr. Bard. He won't care.
But where is he?
Shh! I hear noise back there behind the counter.
We can't go back there. We've never done that before.
Don't be a chicken.
I'm not a chicken. We're crows, right?
Shh! There he is.
This is a stick-up! Ah!
What are you two doing here? We're closed.
The door was open and there were lights on. It was supposed to be a joke.
We thought Mr. Bard was here. Wait, What are you doing here with all these bags of money?
Say, aren't you supposed to be putting it in the vault, not taking it out, right?
Yeah. What are you doing, Delilah?
Well, I guess you caught me. This is a stick-up.
Ollie, I think she's serious, right?
Yeah, I'm catching on.
I wish you two hadn't come in here, but now that you did, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and I'll take the money and go.
We can't do that. Besides, how are you gonna make us?
We trusted you, Delilah, with our money and our friendships. How could you do this?
Have you been planning this all along?
That's a good question. I can't really make you, and I do feel bad about lying to everyone. Yes, I've been planning it all along. I know I should feel ashamed, and I do. Tell you what if I give all this money back and then leave town? Would you let me go and not tell anyone?
Maybe. Do you mean it?
I do. Help me get these bags into the vault, and then you can decide if you let me go. I'll start handing them to you.
Okay, I guess we could do that. Come on, Pervis, follow me, and we'll start putting them back where they belong.
Sorry, boys, but thanks for the vote of confidence.
Outside the bank, Mrs. Badger, Zeke, and Elliot were walking by, headed to her house to finish the repairs on her porch swing.
I told you I needed new chains, but did you listen to an old lady? No, you didn't. Now you two whippersnappers think you know everything.
Mrs. Badger, it isn't that we didn't believe you. We just had to examine it ourselves just to make sure we were doing it correctly.
As if I can't examine my own porch swing myself.
That's not it, Mrs. Badger. It's just that we want you to be safe.
So now I can't take care of myself?
No, that's not what Zeke meant at all, or me.
Oh, be quiet.
What?
Ma'am?
I said hush. Can't you hear that noise?
Where's that coming from?
It sounds like it's coming from the bank.
The bank is closed.
Yes, ma'am. Should be, but that's where it's coming from.
Well, don't just stand there. Let's go see what's going on.
The three critters headed into the bank. They followed the sound of the voices back to the vault.
Ollie? Pervis?
They're not really robbing the bank, do you think?
Serves them right if they get locked in there.
Mrs. Badger, is that you? We need help.
We're not robbing the bank. That no-good varmint did.
Who?
After the crows quickly explained the entire situation, Zeke went for Mr. Bard to open the vault, and Elliot found Meadowlark, who took to the skies in search of Delilah. Mrs. Badger sat with the traumatized crows until Mr. Bard arrived. Meanwhile, the raccoon was moving slowly through the woods, pulling her loot along, when she ran into Nash and Meadowlark.
Oh, hello there, Delilah. Isn't this a wonderful evening? Meadowlark and I were just saying what a fantastic evening it was. There's a soft breeze. The temperature is neither too hot nor too cold. Perfect.
Oh, brother. I don't have time for this.
Delilah, that wasn't very kind.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry. I should just keep my mouth shut sometimes.
I won't argue with that, Nash. But really, Delilah, that was a little abrupt.
How's this for abrupt? Get out of my way.
She hates me. I knew it. She hates me. What am I going to do? I'll never have another friend.
Calm down, Nash. It won't do you any good to exaggerate the situation. Are you okay, Delilah?
I will be when you get out of my way.
Is there something wrong? Something we could help you with?
Please, I'm so sorry for being nosy and talking your legs off. Can't you forgive me? Why do you have to be so mean to me?
Yes. Would you mind explaining what it is that has you so upset?
Why do you have all those bags? Are you leaving Bickers Pond? Do you hate us that much?
As a matter of fact, I am leaving, and it's really none of your business where I'm going.
Oh, but I'm afraid it is our business. Where are you going with our money?
How did you find me so quickly?
Well, dragging those bags behind you makes you pretty easy to track.
And it didn't hurt that we held you up till they got here.
Told you I could get her to stick around a bit.
Maybe you could be a little bit more humble about it, Nash.
Delilah, we trusted you and you stole from us. This is the life savings of most of the creatures around Bickers Pond. Some of them don't have much, and you should know that.
Haven't we been kind to you?
Haven't we helped you out when you needed it?
Brought you a casserole?
Yes, all of these things. But mostly we welcomed you into our lives, trusting you would treat us the same. not wait till our backs were turned and rob us blind.
What do you want me to say?
Sorry would be a good place to start. But first, we want to say that we forgive you.
What?
We do?
Wait, what?
We have a choice today to be angry with you and to let it eat at us, or we could choose forgiveness, and that's what we're going to do.
I know you're right, Meadowlark, but that's hard.
She's not even sorry.
I said we were forgiving her, but there are still consequences to her actions. We are only responsible for our reaction. We'll have to let the court of law decide her fate.
Meadowlark is right. We do forgive you, Delilah. Forgiveness is the best path. Zeke and Elliot, please take the bags. The rest of us will follow behind, back to the bank.
You really forgive me? After all that? I don't think I could do that for anyone.
That's the difference God's love makes. We'll tell you about it while we walk back to the bank.
The raccoon listened as Meadowlark and some of the others presented the gospel to her. Some of these things she'd heard about as a child, but never had anyone shown her this message in action. She had a lot to think over, and she'd be in a place where time was all she had. A few weeks later, Mr. Bard came down the steps of the bank, wringing his hands and grumbling under his breath. Zeke and Elliot were passing, on their way to the fishing hole, when they spotted the frustrated owl.
What was I thinking? Oh, dear Lord, I need your help.
You all right, Mr. Bard?
Oh, good day, Zeke. Elliot. I don't know what I'm going to do.
About what?
Oh, those Pervis and Ollie. I needed a new employee now that,
Delilah's in jail.
Yes. Those two offered to help since they felt guilty about getting tricked by Delilah, but I cannot work with them. They make me want to pull my feathers out.
No, that's not right. Mr. Bard said we counted and put it in this drawer.
No, he didn't. He said that you counted and I recounted. Then we place it in this bag and fill out this form.
You must be hard of hearing. That's not what he said.
Oh, really? And I guess you think you know it all?
Do you mind if I join you this afternoon?
Not at all.
You sure can.
Ephesians 4:31-32 says, "Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you." Meadowlark was right when she said that her community should choose the path of forgiveness. Christ has shown mercy to us, so we should show mercy to others, whether they asked for it or not. In a previous episode, we found out those seeds of mercy grew into a harvest because Delilah chose to serve Christ and become a new creature in Him. Forgiveness is always worth its reward.
Welcome to Insightful Information with Kelly and Kandy. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Kandy. Today we are going to give you some insight into barred owls.
While most owls have yellow eyes, barred owls have brown. These birds are named after the vertical white bars or stripes on their chests.
They are known for their call that sounds like, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you?
It's not me! It's not me!"
Very funny, but I am hungry.
Speaking of cooking, they like to eat small mammals, rabbits, birds, amphibians, reptiles, and invertebrates.
Yeah, none of that sounds good.
As previously stated, you're not the one eating them.
Hey, but I am hungry. Let's wrap this up. Oh, a spinach wrap sounds good.
Why are you whispering?
Because my tummy is talking so loud.
Until next time, kids, pray for me.
We should pray before we eat.
Help me, Jesus. I need you. Have we gotten any responses to those Kandy resumes?
Yes, they hired me.
Maybe we should look at a new Kelly.
And I got a raise.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Tales of Zeke and Elliot, Parables Worth Pondering. If you've enjoyed this podcast, would you take a moment to like or review us on your favorite podcasting app? Take a moment to share this episode on social media or with one of your friends. You can find Zeke and Elliot stickers and bracelets at zekeandelliot.com. All purchases and donations help support this podcast. We'll see you again next week. And until then, don't forget to take your next leap of faith.
Go ahead, Delilah. Why don't we wait? Blah, 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 blah. I had an extra key made for you for the front door. For the front door.
Get your hands up high! Ah!
This here's a stick-up. Ah! Ah!
Would you like me to lock up the door? Want to blah, 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 blah. Guys, I'm really sorry about the amount of editing you're going to have to do.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Up. Get them up now.